to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far. I hope you're rocking out whatever goals, hopes, dreams, plans, ambitions you have and are making it happen. Quick update before we get started. This month only until the 15th, so there is a few days left. Clementine is the free oil of the month from doTERRA. It is awesome, all things uplifting, invigorating. It's also a citrus oil, so it's naturally cleansing and detoxifying. Perfect for trying to get that summer body for this time of year. If you're interested in free stuff, definitely drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. I have launched a weight loss course for beginners. Discover 5 little known secrets to losing weight. If you or somebody you know of is interested in joining, now is the time. There's tons of cool things that come along with the initial launch. Definitely drop me a comment, send me a message. It's an online digital course, so it can be consumed in the comfort of your own home. I'm super excited about that. Put in a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm ready for the world to own it. Alrighty, that's all I've got for the updates. What I wanted to talk about today is actually Egotism Awareness Day, right? So World Ego Awareness Day, and I really love this topic because this was something that I really had to learn, and I'm sure you can tell, or you can ask Tina, that I'm still in the process of learning, getting better at this. It's sort of self-confidence versus egotism, right? Self-confidence is a need, a necessity for progressing your life, trying different things, breaking out of your comfort zone and living a new life. But it can be, there is a fine line between being self-confident and just being an egotistic, jerk that nobody really wants to be around. So that's where I wanted to come in, give some tips that are helping me. And I wanted to share them with you. Hopefully they help you too here on World Ego Awareness Day. Let's do this. Number 1, you gotta let stuff go. This one is really hard for me because I like to win, right? For me, so for me to let stuff go is not really my thing. I like to dwell on past successes, if you will. I also like to bring up past arguments where I won. Because I like to win. I don't like dwelling on losses, and I like to progress forward, right? So for me, that's really one of the hardest things that I'm still currently going through. The ability to just brush it off as, it is what it is, whatever that means. But letting stuff go, I know, I don't know, but I can only imagine how annoying it is, for people to keep hearing stuff over and over, they were wrong and you were right and that's great and you're awesome and, they're not. And, there's different things that we could keep going. And it's really easy to make somebody feel very down and depressed about themselves by bringing up old things that they've done that, are not perfect the way that you want it or you think they should be, whatever that case may be. So, whatever happened, it happened. That whether positive or negative, it's in the past. Let it go. Use it as motivation to keep, progressing forward in your life. But when need be, right, let it go. Just don't dwell on the past, progress further forward in your life, and make better memories that you can later on dwell on, right? Don't dwell on past successes or failures. Keep going, and just embrace new adventures. That's really what it is, right? Let go of the old, embrace the new, bring in a new persona of your life, some different, a part of your movie that is your life, and, own it, right? Embrace the new, let go of the old. There's, what is it? There's what is it? An app? I don't know. But it's called FIFO, right? First in, first out. So when If whatever happened to us, make it the first thing out, right? First in, first out. Let stuff go. Embrace the new living. Number 2, surrender your need for control. This one is really, this one, I mean, especially for me, right? I like to win. So for me, the need to be in control is really what I crave right there. It is what it is. So like, I think of in certain situations where I am very positive that I'm the best, right? And nobody else can do it the way that I can. Surrendering the need for control is very difficult in that specific instance. And that's where, that's where, letting go of your ego and really embracing other people's magic comes into play right there, right? The need for control is you not letting other people flourish, right? You have people on your team or, in your circle that are better at things than you are. So when you need to control everything, you're not letting the people that you're with flourish. You're not letting them show their talents. And in turn, you could, maybe not, I don't know, but you could be deterring your own success because you're too needy, right? And you can't just let it go and allow somebody else's idea to maybe bring your project further or into flourishment, right? When you need to be in control all the time, you don't even think about other people's perspectives. You don't care about other people's perspectives, and other people's perspectives, as good as they could be, are not even being brought forth to you because you don't want to hear it because it doesn't line up with the way that your vision sees it. So, where you can be self-confident is understanding that you built the team that you need, right? You have a great circle of influence around you that is going to propel you further in your life as opposed to bring you down, right? When you need to be in control all the time, you can't see too much further than that. And, maybe it can be a good thing sometimes, but it could very well be a bad thing. And you don't know unless you allow other people that you're with to flourish. So surrender your need for control. Let other people help you. And, who knows? You can make it something great. Water. Doesn't matter if you're self-confident or egotistic. Water is going to help you in every aspect of your life. Number 3, ask others' opinions. You ever want to be taken down a notch, right? Ask somebody else what they think of you. That really is what it is, right? And when you're... I mean, if there's ever a thing that's gonna give a real kick to your ego, it's asking somebody else what they think of you. What you're, what they think of what you're doing, how you're living your life, things that you're contributing to society, all stuff. I mean, people will tell you all the time their opinion of you, and I promise it's not going to be too hard to find somebody that is willing to give you their opinion of you. But that, at the end of the day, we need to know how we're perceived by other people. And if we're not really confident enough in our own abilities to overcome whatever that person says, then that will forever be a deterrent to us because we don't know, right? If you don't know what you don't know. So maybe people are super impressed with what you're doing and they're super excited to hear about everything that's going on in your life all the time. But they could very well just be that much annoyed at you, and they don't really care about what you're talking about. And it's one of those like you're walking towards them, and they're like, maybe he doesn't see us. Talk over here. Maybe if I look down at the wall over here, they might not come and ask me what's going on. So that's where I put this one in here for a reason because. Self-confidence versus ego. If there's ever a way to be aware of your own ego, it's to ask others what they think of you and how you're being perceived to them. And then, it's not always going to be sunshines and lollipops, and you're not always going to be impressing everybody. I actually heard, there's a saying that if you're not pissing people off, you're not doing your job properly, right? Because you're not going to impress everybody. You're not going to please everybody. And if you try and please everybody, you're going to ultimately please nobody. But, you need to know what you're being perceived as from the outer world. So you need to find a way to ask others' opinions. Maybe it's your friends and family. Maybe it's a poll out there on Facebook, for example. Maybe it's, you just go around and ask people what they like in a person, in a friend, right? In, what qualities do they appreciate being around, right? That's something that you could ask them what they think about you without actually asking them, because then you can kind of compare your notes, and this is what they want, and this is what you are, right? So you can see the disconnect, and that's where, do that. Ask others what they think of you, and I promise that you will get an ego. Something will happen to your ego, I promise. So we are talking self-confidence versus egoism here on Ego Awareness Day. Number 1, let stuff go. What's in the past is in the past. Number 2, surrender your need for control. Allow others to flourish. Number 3, ask others' opinion. Because if you ever want to be knocked down a notch, ask others what they think of you. Number 4, delegate. Delegating tasks. I actually read a history book that was about the war, World War II, and it was from the perspective of the 4 leaders, right? So there was Stalin from Russia, Hitler from Germany, Winston Churchill from Britain, and the US president. I believe it ended up being Teddy Roosevelt. I think it got changed throughout the war there. But really, my takeaway from the book as a whole, and really history in itself, is that if Hitler was able to delegate and actually trusted his people to do what they were supposed to do, we would probably be looking at a different history right now. And I don't know, but things could have turned out a lot differently. And this was one of the call it what you will about Hitler, but he was able to, rise a nation basically from the depths of nothing, and, rally around a cause. And, he brought a whole nation to believe in his idea with the self-confidence and the tenacity that he needed to make sure that everybody believed in his idea. The passion, that's the word I was looking for. Passion behind it, right? He moved a nation to he rallied it around a common goal. So that in itself is spectacular, right? But then he got too up in his head and really needed to control every situation in itself. And in that instance, delegation would have really helped him. It would have been a detriment to the rest of the world in the war, but it would have helped him a lot. And that's really a story I like talking about, delegation, because you have people around you that know more about a specific topic than you do. There's always that person. And if you don't, I suggest finding a different circle, because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're not benefiting your life really at all. And that would be my tip right there. Find a better circle than you. But delegating tasks, allowing other people to flourish, knowing that you have the proper plan and process in place for them to just literally take it and run. Think about a baton race, right? I think that's what it's called. I don't actually know what it's called, to be fair. But the batons where they're running, and then the person runs up to the next person, hands the baton, and then they run around and then hands the baton to the next person, and you just keep going in a track. And that's really what you have to think about it as. You've laid out the track. You have the process. This is where you're going. You have the ultimate goal, and all you need to do is just pass the torch. Pass the baton to this guy. Have him run his lap, do what he needs to do. Pass the baton to the next guy. Run his lap, do what he needs to do. And then you get a perfect project all brought into you got a whole team rallying behind a common goal in order to achieve a specific project. And, who knows, right? You could make greatness out of that. But you won't know unless you have, the kahunas to delegate and allow the people around you to do what they do best. Number 5, admit when you're wrong. This one, I'm not really fully over this one, I guess we'll call it, for a lack of a better term. But, nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes to be called out on being wrong. And nobody likes to think that what they know is completely, different than what should actually be known. And especially when you're really passionate about it, right? When you're passionately wrong about something, there's nothing really funnier to look at than somebody that's passionately wrong about something, because that actually it was the way that I heard it was, not only are you wrong, but you're wrong at the top of your lungs, right? So, admitting when this is another one, right? If you ever want a shot to your ego, it's definitely admitting that you were wrong, that what you thought of was not the best course of action. There was completely different ways that we could have thought about it. And if I'd have just, listened, delegated, asked for others' help, we could have avoided this all together. But, sometimes what happens. Let it go. Ask for help. Ask what other people think of you. And admit that you were wrong and just move on with it, right? There's nothing worse than being wrong and then continuing trying to argue your point when everybody around you knows that you're wrong and you just, for lack of a better term, sound stupid at this point. And not only that, but you continue to keep going and everybody's thinking like, man, let it go. Dude, it's all right. You can't win them all. The greatest baseball player ever hit 300, right? So he was wrong or missed 7 out of 10 times. Right? So, if we're right 50% of the time, that's, a step in the right direction. But, this one is huge. It just to let people around you know that you care about them, right? Admitting that you're wrong, listening to ways that you could be different or you could think different is a huge boost, step in the right direction. My last tip more than anything is essential oils. I have an essential oil blend here called Intune. And this one's actually the Focus blend from doTERRA. And I really like this one because, if we're talking self-confidence, even ego a little bit. And that's, that's what I wanted to say. Like, having an ego is not bad. But being egotistical, right, that's bad. With too much of that is not good. But, when we need to be self-confident, really we need to focus more than anything. And when there's situations that we go into that we're not really confident about, it's because we're thinking, right? We're thinking about, how do I look? How do I sound? What are they thinking about me? How does my hair look? This, that, blah, blah. Did I eat enough this morning? Am I going to be tired? Am I going to be cranky? Am I going to be moody? Yada, 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 right? When in actuality, we just need to focus, right? Understand that we know what we're talking about. We're awesome at whatever topic we're thinking of, and we're about to go make it rock and roll. Get some focus in you, and let's rock out this whatever we're planning on doing. Another oil that I have here is bergamot, and bergamot is actually the oil of self-love. It's from Italy. It's a lemon that grows in Italy. And when you're talking about Italians, right? Self-love, that's really what they're all about. And that's it, right? When we need to be confident, when we need to, put ourselves out there and really step into a new persona, that's what you need to do. You need to love yourself and, be confident in your own abilities in order to progress into greatness. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, or if you would like a free sample of oils, definitely drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better rest of your week, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.